Hello chess fans! Nicolas Rossolimo is known as an artist of chess. As for him, the aesthetical aspect of chess was the most important. The following game is one of his most famous games and contains a move that is considered to be one of the most beautiful moves in chess history. On the other hand, this move is objectively bad, and the game in general contains a lot of inaccuracies. So you can decide for yourself if this game is a masterpiece or just the comedy of errors. I will pause the video before this phenomenal move and you will have a chance to find it. So Rasalimo played white pieces and started with e4, and his opponent played Scandinavian Defense. Knight c3, queen a5, d4, knight f6, knight f3, bishop g4, pinning the knight, h3, attacking the bishop, and here comes the fatal mistake actually, which is losing on the spot, queen h5. The idea is to pin the pawn, however, just by capturing the bishop, white could have won on the spot, as it turns out that after queen takes h1, the queen doesn't have a single retreat square, and just by playing knight e2, threatening knight g3 and attacking the queen and winning it and the game together with the queen. However, Rasalimo missed this opportunity and instead of capturing the bishop, played bishop e2. Knight c6, castle, kingside, and now that white castled and the rook moved from h1, white is threatening to capture the bishop, so black must do something with this bishop, and black decided to sacrifice it. However, it's a bad move because for the sacrificed piece, black didn't get any attack. Queen takes h3, knight g5 attacking the queen, queen h4, d5, knight e5, bishop b5 check, c6, d takes c, b takes c, and here just by playing bishop a4, Rasalimo could have got absolutely winning position. Because white has extra piece and black doesn't have any attack. For example, if knight g4 threatening checkmate on h2, white has a simple defense, bishop f4 taking under control h2 square. However, instead of this, Rasalimo played knight d5, threatening a fork. And this move is bad actually, because it leads to a draw. Black had a draw just by playing knight takes d5, and after queen takes d5, the queen, of course, is untouchable because the pawn is pinned, and if black captures the bishop, the rook falls. However, black had perpetual queen g4 check and queen h5 check, and the game would have ended in a draw. However, instead of this, black castled queenside, and the most interesting part of the game started after that. Bishop a6 check, king b8, bishop f4. The bishop is, of course, protected by the knight, and white is threatening to capture the knight with check, rook takes d5, bishop takes e5 check. Of course, black cannot capture because of checkmate in 1. That's why king a8. And we have reached the culmination of this game. So, currently the knight is under attack, black is threatening to capture it with check, and the queen is under attack. However, black has a serious problem. The queen side isn't developed, and the back rank is extremely weak, and the king doesn't have a single square to move. And if white manages to check on the 8th rank, that would be checkmate. So you can pause the video and try to find first the objectively strongest move, the simple move that is winning easily, and then Rasalimo's move, which is objectively weaker. After it, white actually gets a worse position. But from aesthetical point of view, this move is absolutely fantastic. So pause the video and try to find both of them. So objectively strongest move, as the knight is under attack, of course, is knight takes f7. And after rook takes d1, rook takes d1, white is threatening to checkmate. And there is nothing black can do. For example, computer gives the following variation. Knight d5, closing the d file, however, c4. Knight cannot move, of course, because of checkmate. Queen h5, c takes d. Now white is threatening to capture on c6, after which two checkmates, one on d8 and another one from b7 would threaten. That's why c5, in order to keep the files closed. Bishop g3, queen takes f7, rook d3, queen f6, attacking the bishop. However, rook b3, and black cannot capture the bishop because of one checkmate threat on b8, and there is actually the second checkmate threat on b7. And black is forced to give up the queen, and white will have winning material advantage. However, instead of this simple move, Rasalimo played c4. This is the phenomenal move. Leaving the knight under attack and letting black capture it with check, which happened in the game actually. And after bishop g3, c4 just forces black to capture on d1. So white forces his opponent to capture the queen. Rook takes d1, rook takes d1. And now checkmate is threatened. However, this c4 move is bad because black actually had a defense here. And this defense was knight d7, temporarily closing the d file. And after rook takes d7, e5. As the knight moved from f6, the queen's diagonal is open, and now the queen controls d8 square. And with the next move, black would play bishop c5 with tempo, pinning the pawn on f2 and threatening to capture on g3. And also after bishop c5, the rook would enter the game and would defend the 8th rank. So black would solve all the issues. However, black didn't find this move and played knight d5 instead. Another way to close the d file, however, it's a much worse way. C takes d, and white is threatening to capture on c6 with multiple checkmate threats. And again, black had a move, had a defense, after which the game could have ended in a draw. e5. If black played e5, computer gives the following variation. D takes c, bishop c5, threatening to capture on g3, that's why king g2, queen g6, bishop b7 check, rook d7, bishop b6, rook c1, bishop c7, rook c5, f5, bishop a6, f4, and perpetual. If black doesn't agree to perpetual and plays bishop b6, that would be a terrible blunder because of rook takes b6, c7 check, and white is winning. But instead of e5, black played c5, which is a mistake. However, the idea is, of course, clear, to keep the files closed. And now computer gives the following move, simple move, after which white is winning. Just rook e1. And queen g6 attacking the bishop, d6, e5, bishop f1, king b7, bishop g2 check, king c8, and white is easily winning. Rook e7 check, rook takes d6, queen takes d6, bishop h3 check, and pinning the queen and with winning material advantage. And again, instead of this simple way, Rasalimo makes a weaker, objectively weaker, but from the aesthetical point of view, much stronger move, b4, forcing the opening of files. So if black captures on b4, then c file is open, and if black doesn't react, then white would capture on c5 and b file would open. In both cases, checkmates would be threatened. Black, again, had an opportunity to defend and play f5, and if b takes c, black would have a better position after f4, and rook b1 doesn't give anything, white wouldn't have any checkmate in this position. However, it's not so easy to find this move, and black played a more natural looking move, c4, again to keep the files closed. However, this is losing now. Rook d4, e5, d takes e, bishop takes b4, rook d7, threatening checkmate on b7. That's why rook b8, rook d1, supporting the rook and entering the last undeveloped move, piece into the game. Now, bishop b7 check is threatened because after rook takes b7, rook d8 check. Now that the rook is supported by the second rook, it works because queen takes d8 would be followed by rook takes d8 check, and after bishop rook b8, rook takes b8 would be checkmate. That's why bishop e7 taking under control d8 square. However, now e takes f, and after c3, Rasalimo just promoted to queen, and it turns out that if rook captures, of course, checkmate in 1, and if bishop captures, then the control over d8 square is weakened again, and now the same variation works. Bishop b7 check, rook d8 check, and checkmate. I'll be grateful if you like this video to help me grow the channel, and subscribe if you wanna watch next videos. See you next time.